After developing a severe addiction to Aurora, I decided to follow up on this secret base. I had to shoot through some spacers, and then I had to spell out Incontinentia to be rewarded with this suit that made me the new Space Batman. Now, I thought it only natural to give up this hard life of vigilanteism and find somewhere to settle down. My criteria is I don't really know what I'm looking for, but I have a feeling that I'll know it when I see it. And so I began my search at the far fringe of the galaxy, starting at Tidacha, landing on its world with an atmosphere. I found quite a pretty sight. I came across these grazers that were slaughtered by something. And I came across the thing that supposedly killed those grazers, this hunting sailgator. It's got quite the jaws. Unfortunately, he didn't stand up too much against my explosive rounds. I watched the sun quickly set as I approached this gravitational anomaly. The music made it seem like something important was happening, but it was just day turning into night. I found this red golden colored grass that I followed up the side of this hill. And as I crested it, I came across this wonderful view of this valley. There was a natural landmark here of this little canyon. The canyon turned out to be a sunken grove. Inside it was filled with these weird, seemingly organic objects. These pink fluorescent land jellyfish looking things. There are also these bulbous rock-like objects. I couldn't interact with any of them. There was a hunting tailgater here that was quite high leveled. I remembered to scan it before I finished it off and further destabilize this ecosystem. I proceeded back the other way towards some of the other natural landmarks on this planet. I found this covered crater. I'm not sure how a crater can be covered, but it does make sense that there was poop here, as this would make a rather cozy home. I proceeded from the covered crater through this nice patch of forest as the sun began to rise again. I felt like I was back in autumnal Appalachia after a nuclear holocaust, waiting to find some vaults to raid and don some power armor. After the forest, I came across this rock-like organic feature. This must be where Radiohead got their Cadet album art from. Now I just have to find the Tom York tree. And I just can't stop myself from sticking my hands in alien poop. This planet was nice, and it would probably make a good spot to make a base on, but since this is the first one that I've gone to so far, I feel like there's going to be others out there that might check more of the boxes. And so off we go to the next planet. The next system was the Heisenberg system. I hear this is where people go to cook. I landed on Heisenberg 2, and I found that you can pick a spot close to the water. It'll put you on a coastal area. There wasn't much here at first glance. So I grabbed some resources and headed towards the life forms that it said it detected. This for sure was rocky desert, like it said it would be. It's not much to look at, but it's still quite gorgeous, I think. I came across this cropping of foliage in the distance, grouped together like some oasis. Inside of there was a hunting scarab that was quite scary. Fortunately for me, he was doing more standing than hunting. I approached slowly, got the scan, and got out before the scarab decided to have me for lunch. There were these friendly trilobites that were keeping their distance from this windbag grazer, which was basically a blob with spider legs. I didn't like the look of that at all, but I still needed to scan it, so I found a pack of them, and I got fairly close. It said their temperament was wary, So I figured they might be friendly if I don't engage and don't do anything quickly. I'm just here to scan. Unfortunately, they thought me a threat, so I had to kill them all. Strangely, I don't feel too bad about the whole thing. Since that area seemed pretty barren besides the few groupings of trees, I decided to go to somewhere else on the planet, this hilly area. There I found these weird crawdad looking guys with bugged out eyes. They were already dead, I imagine, from almost literally anything. Then I came across some more of those windbag grazers. They were grouping up on this xenocrawler. Now we get to answer the question, will 10 of these low-level windbag grazers be able to kill this large scorpion-looking guy? They were definitely trying, but in the end he basically one-shot them all. The xenocrawler was just too strong. Just like my explosive rounds. Well, since that planet seemed like a bust, I decided to go to the next planet in the system that had an atmosphere. Heisenberg 3. I picked this mountainous coastal area for some variety, and what I saw was quite shocking. There was just nothing. Even the desert area had more than this. The scanner picked up life signs with an unusual icon that I hadn't seen before, but I decided to check out the other life signs since it was closer first. In the distance, I couldn't tell if that was the spine of a large skeleton or if those were maybe decrepit, petrified trees. Turns out they weren't petrified wood, but rather deep-rooted vents that spewed out biological life. So anyways, I continued on towards the odd-iconed life forms. Just because the whole area seemed quite barren didn't mean that there wouldn't be some nice grove or oasis. But this was pretty gross, and I didn't want to spend too much time here. This life form that it detected was the remains of amphibious life that was slowly rotting away. I didn't want to become like the amphibious life, so I decided to head out elsewhere. I had yet to find my home amongst the stars, but I knew it was out there, somewhere. So, on to the next planet.